All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Hibike Euphonium, Season 3, Episode 2. New youth player.
And she's not from this school.
Right, and she knows about Kumiko.
She knows...
What's the deal?
A lot about Kumiko.
Yeah.
She has this, like, are you her? Like, didn't even need to be introduced, just
Nope.
saw her, knew immediately. That's fun because it ties in potentially to previous stuff from seasons prior, but also it sets up some very fun competitive stuff with the possibility of there being maybe, more than one youth player needed.
Sure.
But there being at least one youth player that's just not going to make the cut. And we already have a little bit of competition from a certain Kohai next to Kumiko. So having potentially a second one sounds very, very fun and spicy.
Yes.
And also is reminding of a conflict from a previous season.
And maybe a previous schoolmate.
True.
Yeah.
True. But maybe with the situations flipped.
Right.
As far as circumstances go.
Yep.
As to who's who in which role. But Kumiko is leading things rather well. Everyone has decided that they want to go for nationals, that they want to go for broke, that they're going to put everything into this. This is going way better than it did in season 1.
Oh, yeah.
As far as things go there. Taki did a very good job of being able to invigorate people, but setting clear boundaries with regards to what kind of access they'll have to him. So the reason that they're doing this is not as much of a...
His influence kind of a thing.
Yeah, as much of a thing where they're feeling pressured to do it as much as it could be the healthy kind of peer pressure from just being around other people that are going for it,
There's a sense of momentum because this school has been kicking ass recently. So people want to do that more.
And that's momentum. That's real.
Yep.
We could see some real crazy stuff happen with that. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Beautiful.
Ooh. There are probably super fans that know everybody by their silhouettes. Okay.
Gotcha.
Of course, mysterious transfer student.
Ah.
Damn.
Okay.
I wonder if it had to do with something with their school's wind ensemble,
I mean, I think they mentioned she moved.
Haha! So it was just Taki telling her. Okay.
この人に違いないってね。いきなり名前当てられて滝先生から話聞いたってことは吹奏楽部に
Yeah.
迷惑じゃない
Right, because she doesn't want it to be a similar thing to probably what it was in season 1. New person that just suddenly comes
Can't
in.
avoid it, though.
Yep.
部のバランスとか崩れたりしないかなと思うけど本当に
It would indeed upset the balance.
元セーラ女子なら即戦力間違いなしだ私やるなら UFO がいいんだけど前楽器持ってるもんね心強いよ滝先生に話してくる
Okay.
だけど迷惑だったらすぐ一番いつやめても構わないから
Oh, wow.
どうしてそんなこと言うの私のせいで誰かが楽器変わったりコンクールに出られなくなったりしたら、みんなと楽しく演奏したいから
I come from a very cutthroat school, so...
例年サンライズフェスティバルでは今年は曲の編成的に演奏してもらう子もいると思います
依頼演奏に学内行事コンクールの練習に
Alright, camp again, yep.
先輩や夏希先輩はやってたのか
Which is the detail of her flipping the pencil.
まゆちゃん来ると思うから分かってますってきちんと部のこと説明しておきますから
久美子ちゃんスズメどうしてる低音でうまくやれてる
本人すごく楽しそうだけど
Oh, cool.
All right.
It's one of the new trio.
ただ心配というか れから何かあるかもというか、あの子ちょっと変わってるから。
Okay.
簡単に言うと、その振動をマウスピースに伝えてリコーダーとは根本的に違うから。なんとか音は出るようになったけど、それで違う音を出すってできるんですか？お、私天才かも。大丈夫、そのくらいすぐできるようになるよ。いやー、腹筋か。今まで支えるのが基本だからね。
Yep.
先輩はみんなこのくらいは鍛えてるか。
Oh my gosh.
59、59.1、59.2、はい、60。
This is hazing.
Yep. Left there.
そういえばかなでちゃんは？かなでならクロエ先輩と隣の教室です。じっくりお話ししたいって。どうして北宇治を選ばれたんです？一番吹奏楽が強かったからかな。やはり最初から水部狙いで。そうとも言い切れないけど。
Right, because it wouldn't be Kumiko that would be the most affected by this, probably. It'd be her.
私、合奏が
Well, at least in the
そろそろみんなで練習しない？
in the competency side of things, probably.
Right.
にしておきましたので。みんな仲良しそうで安心した。いい子が多いからですよね。私を筆頭に。なでちゃんは本当にいい性格してると思う。お褒めいただき光栄です。クロエ先輩ももちろん私のこと好きですよね。でしたらよかったです。これからもクロエ先輩とお呼びしても。どっちかっていうと眉の方がいいかな。ここであだ名とかなかったの？あだ名か。
Oh, oh boy, here we go.
小学校の頃はママって呼ばれて。
Okay.
学校の先生を間違えてお母さんって呼んじゃったりするじゃない？
That's
マ
funny.
リちゃんをママって呼んじゃった。それでそのまま。ありますね、そういうの。
今日の練習後、少し相談したいことがあるんです。
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
じゃあ、高坂さんと塚本君と3人で職場室まで
All right. Yep.
Fun.
This conversation.
Yep.
コンクールの自由曲ですか？
はい。今年はできたら早めに決定して、
And depending on what piece we do, there's a certain number of instruments that are needed for everything.
Ah, nice. He's just having them choose by listening to the music, not by looking at the sheet music.
今流れている天夜の月、
Hey, they'll look at that eventually. It's not like some
Right.
great secret.
一度聞いて意見をもらえませんか？
Yeah.
私たちのどうして？
いえ、特に大きな理由はありません。こういうことはいろいろ試してみた方がいいかと思いました。入学した頃から知っているということも大きいかもしれない。
I value your opinion.
Yeah.
Raina squeeze.
本当に私たちで決めていいのかな？
求められたのは意見を先に決めるのが
Yes.
Right.
でも
Taki sensei requires
私
it.
たちが決めたことに反対したこと。
確かにな。
On the train? Oh, laughing? Silence, young ones.
それに従う前提だったもんな。
今回もそうだとは限らない。先生の考えがあると思う。
それは。
滝先生にそれだけ信頼されてるってことなんじゃないのか？
お疲れ。
Nice.
塚本、
高坂、どうした？
なんであんな言い方したの？
何が？
He trusts
気づ
you.
いてないの？久美子にプレッシャーかけることにしか
He's
信頼されて
reassuring.
いるのは久美子なんだ
Trying to.
から、久美子が全部決めればいいって言ってるように聞こえる。
そう聞こえたなら悪かった。
That's mature.
久美子が弱音吐いたり相談できるのは幹部といる時だけだし、副部長を引き受けたなら変な意地張るのはやめてちゃんと協力してあげて。
Okay.
Just a nice little confrontation, yeah.
送ってくぞ。
あ？なんで？
もう遅いだろ。久美子に怒られる。
怒られるのは私でしょ。
なんで？
いいから、あんたは久美子のこと泣かさないようにして。
じゃあそこまでならいいだろ。
気が利くんだか利かないんだか。
Well, that sounds like a you problem then.
Yep.
滝先生が迷うのもわかるな。
起きてるの？
Parents.
Yeah, no chance she hears that.
It's practicing.
部長、おはようございます。すずめちゃんは安定して音出るようになってきたね。私、
Nice.
チューバ向いてるんだと思います。北宇治のクラはレベルが高いので足を引っ張らないようにと思って繰り返ってもないと思うけど、真面目だし。そんなことないよ。でうまいってリリカちゃんも言ってたよ。
Yeah, leagues, damn. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
じゃあごゆっくり。ああ、部長。何？ああ、やっぱりいいです。もうちょっと練習したいんで。そう。
Okay.
That slight bit of maybe intimidation of like, oh shoot, I could be imposing.
Right.
ハリアさん、右と左が逆。ちゃんと目線まっすぐ。
Yeah. Drill, drill, drill.
好きなが先輩かわいい。女の子みたいだね。
求むって呼んで。
Yeah. Gossiping Andy's over there.
Yep.
1年生たち、6限体育だったからそのまま来ちゃって。合理的だよね、まゆちゃんって。ズボラとも言う。久美子先輩。
We're building a trio here.
練習の時間ですよ。下から行ってくれればいいのに。いえいえ。
I am nervous of you two colluding without me present.
Getting so close that I'm not needed anymore.
素直な先輩は大好きですよ。
With yourself.
いつもそのくらい思ったことを口にしていただいて結構ですのに。
Right. Kumiko's having trouble giving input for Saki, and she hasn't even realized that it might have an effect on.
Oh, yes.
私と先輩はすでにいい関係だと思いますよ。まゆ先輩って呼んでくれる？クロエ先輩という呼び方もとても素敵。
Like, it's all right there. It's just,
Yeah.
painful.
全然できる気しない。弥生時代と21世紀くらいさ。
I love that they have their little cringe humor that makes just each other laugh.
すすめとか最初から上手だもん。いいところ見せたいって張り切ってる部分もあると思いますけど。頑張ります。
お
Interesting.
客さんはその人が初心者かどうかなんて分かりませんという甘えは捨ててください。出場する以上、全員で北宇治らしい最高の演奏にしましょう。
あとはパート練習とします。ありがとうございました。ちょっとお話があるんです。
Yeah, what was the thing you were hesitant about talking about earlier?
どうして旗係なんですか？2年生がスネアとかバスドラやってるのに毎日スティック持って帰って練習してるんですよ。最後の年に旗係なんてだいたい元はドラム機パートリーダーがマリンバとか押し付けて。それは事実とちょっと現にお姉ちゃんマリンバじゃないですか。待って待って、それは
Yeah.
ツバメちゃんが不満を持ってるってこと？
Well, no.
No, yeah.
お姉ちゃん優しすぎるところがあって私みたいに思ったことが言えないから。あってなんです？ちょっと落ち着こうか。落ち着いてないのは部長じゃないですか？わかった。じゃあはい吸って吐いて。
Oh, man.
息しました。すずね、お姉ちゃん。久美子ちゃんごめんね。
I know what you're
お姉
doing.
ちゃんがサーブで対抗させてもらえるように直談判してたんだ
Yeah,
よ。
stop.
なんでそんなこと。空気読んですぐ我慢しちゃうんだもん。だから違う。カラーガードは私が希望したの。
Yeah, just talk to.
みどりちゃんがやってるの見て最後の年だし。じゃあ本当にだから何度も言ったじゃない。
Talk to me.
最初からそう言ってくれればいい。
No, you could have asked.
Again and again.
すずめちゃんのお姉ちゃんを思う気持ちはよくわかったから、これからはもう少しお姉ちゃんの言うことを信じてあげて。
And just ask her.
いつでもお姉ちゃんの味方なんて。
And, you know, trust what she says. Yeah, yeah.
Stupid
I
bullshit.
feel ya.
濡れてるんじゃないの？
まあ少しだけ。
But I'm meditating.
天夜の月か。物語性が強くて表現力が求められる。カゲロウキタンは技術力が求められるし、人とせの歌はその両方。どうしたの？
私やっぱり部長向いてないのかな。
別に久美子のせいじゃないでしょ。
ツバメちゃんもスズメちゃんもサインは出していたんだよね。場合だったら気づいて先にケアしてたと思う。
そうかな。滝先生がどうして私たちに自由曲を預けたの？多分この3人だからだと思う。私と久美子、小笠原先輩と飛鳥先輩の関係じゃ無理で。
Oh, sure.
でもこの3人ならって。
You can break a tie. You
か
can.
ぶりすぎだよ。
Well, and they get along better. It's a bit more balanced.
Right.
久美子と私ならって。塚本に聞いたら私と同じ曲。
The ambitious one.
どの曲がいいと思ってる？
全国で北宇治が演奏するところ、その最初の1音は何がいいか。
Whoa.
クラリネット。
Thinking the same thing.
Yeah, of course. The ambitious one.
All right.
Oh, it's so fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
oh my
it's
god.
just too beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
And thus, the grand journey to practice begins. I forgot how much the music just makes me want to close my eyes and just surrender to it. And then I don't get to see these beautiful fucking
Right,
visuals.
exactly, yeah. Your brain's torn.
Yeah. It's like a sensory overload. Oh. Just that cold, sudden.
Right. Okay.
今年の課題曲はスケルツ&人とせの歌吹奏楽のためのに決定します。いいですね。
はい。
Alright.
Cool.
本格的にコンクールの練習に入ります。各自練習しておいてください。
はい。こういうのはドラムメジャーの方がいいんじゃないのか。演奏のことだし。
率直に言います。北氏の演奏はうまい。
But not well enough to play this
だ
song.
けどうまいだけでは
Yeah.
全国金は取れません。なぜなら上を目指す学校は北氏は一番を目指しましょ
Number
う。
one.
今の自分で満足するんじゃなくて、さらに上を行く未来の自分を追いかけましょう。
Fuck, that's such a good line.
取りに行きます。
I'm getting that stirring, like, Haikyuu energy of, like,
Oh, yeah.
they're their 30 years.
Oh,
they're
but
on
there
the-
is some, there are some questioning faces. Where it's like, oh shit, I'm already giving everything I've got, you know.
次の曲が始まるのです。
I'm already at 10, I can't go any higher.
I love how much we're building for the eventual drama and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very cute.
Ooh.
I like it. Love the color palette. Are we gonna get backstory? Like, more than we've already gotten?
I think it's more just look how far they've come to now, you know.
They're going
like,
up.
Ah.
I have a very strong positive association with that exact kind of shot.
All right.
Okay.
Kuroi Mayu, our new youth player from a very prestigious musical school as well. And also someone coming in as a third year, which means she's got a lot of experience.
Yep.
But not only that, with what we heard her play as, she immediately is putting Kamade on the defensive. Of like, oh shit, I
Because,
am
of course.
potentially like the
Yeah.
immediate one to get cut here if there's anything happening. Which is kind of interesting because, remember, context-wise, Kumiko's not a legendary euphonium player.
No.
She grew an incredible amount over these last 2
Right,
years.
because she's been working very, very hard.
But now she's distracted, focused on random bullshit from
that's
class.
true too.
You know, like being the sorry, I can't speak right now. The president of the Wind
club,
Ensemble Club, which means her playing could suffer, and then it could be a thing of where it's this new girl's a shoo-in, but you Kamade, one of you is gonna have to go.
Yeah, it might not be the competition between the people that we think and the characters think.
But the thing is that it could be any of them. And the way that Kamade is trying to insert herself into the situation and being like, hey, I'm really cool with you, right? You'd go to bat for me, right? Like, you're not going to throw... But you and I are also really close.
Right, she's doing
I love that Mayu
like,
has no idea that, like, Kumiko and Kamade are, like, actually, like... They have this very, like, awkward... like
They don't really...
They don't like each
don't
other
gel.
at all.
Like,
no.
They get along, but they are not friends.
Right.
Like not like they have beef
Lots
with
of
each
lip
other.
service, you know.
Yeah,
like,
lip service and like we would not hang out with each
ever.
other. Like
No.
ever. We are so different kinds of people. Like
and I mean also like I'm sorry, Kamade, but you're not Reina. Like you're not
no, of course not.
You're not the other two girls either. Like you don't have just limitless bubbling charm. If
she's
anything,
trying really hard.
You're trying really hard. And in some ways I I understand that frustration, that desire to be like, but I can be cool too. I can be cute and adorable and wonderful
especially
too, but...
when she was coming in originally as effectively the Asuka replacement as far as the youth goes.
Yeah, I know.
Rough.
How
That's
do you
rough.
How do you replace her?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, and she's probably been trying really hard to try and get to that point.
Yeah, she's a second year. She's just got her shit going. But like, yeah. You might have been onto something too with them deciding the piece before looking at sheet music, because there wasn't any of that before this, which makes
total sense. Like, don't complicate things, just think about the music and that's it.
Right. And I think there's a possibility. There's a possibility that it's that, okay, we were always going to cut somebody. Right. But it's more the question of whether it's maybe a 1 youth player versus a 2 youth player.
Right.
Kind of
realistically, I think it's something where they would want the 2 youths. So there's just the 2 youths. Just
right. Maybe it's also the thing of where it's not really about being like a youth player in the final cut, but it's more who gets to do the solo, or who gets to do that one part in the song, or who's just kind of there doing backgrounds and the other person is more the lead. You know?
I get the feeling there isn't going to be like some crazy youth solo, given that like it wasn't something that Kumiko thought of.
Or focused on within the song.
Yeah, exactly. But like it does sort of take us back to season 1, where it was the whole thing of, okay, Asuka, yes, she's good enough to perform youth, going for nationals, all that stuff. But Kumiko, are you going to be? And she managed to get there. Way to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, I get the feeling that's going to be happening again. And the Kanade does not seem like the type of person that will take that news well. Like she absolutely seems like the kind of person that would fight dirty to get the position and fight dirty when she loses it. But
hey, this is a fun, continual showcasing of the relationship that Kumiko has with being the president and having to adjust to the stuff that comes up from everybody else there. So.
Because this is also just a gigantic club now. Like it's freaking massive. So the amount of responsibilities that she has and the different individual people tugging on her and stuff, it's a lot.
Yeah, and even at times where it wasn't completely clear whether Reina was just being overly defensive with regards to Tsukamoto, stuff there.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of having someone's problem be that they're maybe a little bit overprotective rather than being underprotective.
Right.
In this case here, because, the 3 of them are kind of running the ship. So they can't have pressure being put around within their whole thing there. They need to be a strong, multi-corded rope, working in tandem together. The
idea that in a lot of ways when you have that, second in command position, in some ways it's almost better if you are managing at as much as possible of the day-to-day stuff, because, the person who's at the actual top, they have to deal with the most important, there's the buck stops there, right?
Well, the other part is that nobody's calling for Reina or Tsukamoto in the middle of a random other club related thing.
And so
it's president.
Yeah.
And now she's actually responding with the, oh yeah, that's me.
Right.
As opposed to the president. Kumiko. Oh yeah.
And that's why I really liked the thing that Tsukamoto did at the end there of Kumiko's being called, and then he's actually, given that, the kind of thing that this is, why don't we have Reina do this? And it's yep, cool.
Yeah, I do love the very soft and, not extremely subtle, but it's there, little bits of subtext regarding all the interactions. It allows the pacing to be much faster for a show that is covering potentially a lot of actual time for these characters. It makes it kind of, essentially, read is a weird way to say this, but read more of just a bunch of dialogue. This is just primarily a very dialogue-focused story without much hard exposition, except for little time skips here and there.
Right, because it's cool, we have to decide what piece we're going to play, but other than things like that or solving little bits of conflict here and there. It's basically just practice, and so then interaction between the characters.
Right, but I think that you could end up spending your time, especially in a later season, end up focusing on the way in which this is different. So we need to exposit again the ways in which this is different so that people feel built up to the intensity of why we're doing this. But no, this show just understands that the emotional drive that all these individual characters have for what it means to actually go not just to nationals but to win gold in this because of what we've done before is allowing this season to primarily be in the tiny little subtextual melodrama of the three youth players getting to know each other.
Right.
In the moments of the three leaders of the club having these little conversations that don't involve every single member of the three because sometimes Reina's going to dig Tsukamoto a little bit you know, when he's not there. Or other times she's going to have a confrontation of sorts with Tsukamoto as he's like, no, actually, you know, just so you know, I'm here on your side and I'm with all this here. I'll take some time out of my, you know, night to walk you down to this part of the station or what have you.
Exactly.
I can't understand if you're being considerate or inconsiderate. You
Right.
know?
We can get those little character things in there because a lot of the actual conflicts with regards to the club are not exact repetitions of previous seasons, but they're similar, and it makes sense for them to be similar because a lot of it is based around just the dynamics of high school and first years versus third years, and you know, and hey, immature first year that won't listen to their sister when they say that they want to do a thing, and so then they think they're standing up for them, and it's like, no, you're just
that
just
sounds
causing
familiar
trouble.
to another character that was having the really intense desire to stand up for another student.
Exactly. And so it's like, oh, yeah, Kumiko's able to recognize that and deal with it pretty well.
Pretty well.
While at the same time being like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to deal with this.
I love the Kumiko sounds in this show, but specifically whenever she's dealing with some nonsense, she just has this it's just like,
which, if you think about it, is probably a helpful thing for her position, because Reina can be like I'll be blunt, you know, et cetera, right? But
where
with Kumiko,
right now is not enough,
Right, where we're at is not enough. But with Kumiko, it's also the thing of because she's very visibly and auditorially expressive.
She wears her emotions on her sleeve.
Right.
Yes.
The conversations are able to be kept maybe shorter than they normally would be because people can be like, gotcha. Okay. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take care of this. You don't need to be bothered.
I do love though the Kumiko's oh no, I let that slip there.
Right. And that was out loud.
Yeah, that's always rather fun. It makes her in some ways kind of endeared to the other cast members, the other characters and stuff.
Right, because she's not attempting to bulldoze or anything like Reina might.
Right, or she's not putting on any airs. You can tell that she's not, she's not super fake. Now, there's parts of her that are very much like, yes, Kanade, your personality is amazing.
I mean, Kanade basically twists her arm and is like, be fake, do the thing, do the performance thing socially that I want you to do. Okay. You know.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, beautiful, beautiful episode. I love the bit with the light coming through when Kumiko picks the exact song that Reina and Tsukamoto had already decided on. Of course, they were going to do the ambitious one. Of course, they were going to do the one that required not just more technical ability, but heart and expression. They also had a very subtle kind of repetition thing here that I would say is kind of a form of exposition, the idea that the clarinet is very strong here at Katauji as far as their players and stuff overall, which is a fun way of saying that Reina is now among other giants. Right. That she is not the sole giant making this gigantic trumpet stand, if you will.
Exactly.
Which means that Reina doesn't need to be built around in any way to showcase why they deserve to be, scored highly.
Yeah. Even though I would not be surprised if this song also had a trumpet solo.
Oh, yeah, maybe even if it does, it's just the idea that, no, we're going to open up with what sound we have that's the best. Not Reina's sound.
Sure.
The clarinet. That's awesome. And that might be because it's also a very soft, beautiful sound and what have you. Because I don't know too much about clarinets.
And or just, sadly, they don't have, a piece of classical music that they can literally just pick and choose. Ah, yes, all of them are equally fantastic that then also do the instruments in, specific ways or whatever. But
the little sample that we got of the song while looking over the region and stuff, I feel this warmth in my spine whenever I listen to the music that this show provides that just makes me want to just lie down and go to sleep. Mm-hmm. It's the most relaxing, soul-enriching music.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh, nope, stay away.
Gorgeous visuals as well.
Gorgeous visuals and everything else. I got to pay attention here.
It feels like
there's just something so wonderful about beautiful classical music.
It feels like when I take a wrong turn in a car and then I'm like, oh no, I have to figure out where I'm going, but I'm listening to music and I'm like, wait, I can't look and hear at the same time.
Turn that down, I can't see.
Yeah, exactly, right? The other thing that I just wanted to mention again, because they're doing this in very little bits at a time,
light doses,
but consistently. Mm-hmm. And I love the sense of subtle background dread it gives. Mm-hmm. The whole situation with family, and and the oh, what's the deal with Kumiko? Yeah, she's just super absorbed in what she's doing, and we're like, yes, way to go, awesome. But we're seeing all the ways in which the role of being president is just
slowly weighing on her.
And the idea that then that could be compounded with home stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Good. Basically, the drama has been foundationally established in a really good way, and we can see very much where it's going to be focused on. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.